What's up guys, Shinbu1 for an eye here, and today we're diving deep into the Hero's Gorge to master one of the most mechanically intensive and rewarding fighters in the game, Fatih, the Warrior King. If you love a hero that gets right into the thick of things, weaving attacks and abilities with high APM, then Fatih is your man. We're talking a fighter that can stick to targets, dish out insane sustained damage, and has the tools to outplay anyone who stands in his way. Once again, no filter, no fluff, just the raw analysis, breakdown, and shading of all the things I know that you need to dominate when it comes to Fatih. So grab your swords and let's get straight into it. First up, let's break down his skill sets first. Understanding how his abilities flow together is the absolute key to unlocking his potential. For his passive, it is called Only the Strong. Fatih's entire playstyle revolves around this passive. Every time you use an ability, you stack one enhanced basic attack, up to a maximum of 5. These aren't just your regular auto attacks, they have increased range, they deal extra physical damage, and most importantly, they heal you. The 5th enhanced attack is a massive damage spike, dealing 100% more damage. You have to constantly weave basic attacks between your skills to maximize your damage output and survivability. For the skill 1, it is called the King's Blade. Now this is your primary mobility and engagement tool. It's a 3-part dash where you can use it to close the gap, dodge skill sets, and reposition in a fight. The 3rd and final slash is the Moneymaker, knocking your enemies into the air for a brief moment. Remember, every unused slash reduces the cooldowns, so you don't always have to use all the 3 casts. Now for the skill 2, this is called the King's Return. Fatih unleashes a wave of sword energy that damages and slows enemies in its path. It also provides a significant health recovery for each enemy hero it hits. The magic of this skill is that its cooldown is reduced every time you hit an enemy with a basic attack. This synergy with your passive is crucial. More basic attack means more King's Returns, which means more damage, more slows, and more healing. Now for the skill 3 or the ultimate, it is called Sacred Tree Blessing. This is your go button. You know, it's battle on game mode. Fatih instantly removes all crowd control effects on himself, deals burst damage around him, and gains a massive shield that scales to maximum health. He also gets a boost of resistance for each nearby enemy hero, making him incredibly tanky in the middle of a team fight. While his ultimate is active, your skill 2 and your enhanced basic attacks are significantly boosted. It's the perfect tool for turning the tables, surviving burst damage, and running down your opponents. Now for the skill priority, you would want to maximize your skill 1 first, then of course up your skill 2 and always max your ultimate whenever it is available. Since this is for the Clash Lane build, I recommend a common spell of Flash. You can never go wrong with Flash, and it allows you to actually make a lot of amazing plays alongside with your kit. But of course, if you want to go for more kills, then you could go with Execute. Now that you know the skills, let's talk about the build. The Arcanas. This is a setup that will make you a formidable force at all stages of the game by maximizing your physical attack and also your cooldown reduction. For the Red Arcana, we have 10 times of inheritance for that crucial early game physical attack. Now for the Blue Arcana, you'll go for 10 times Hunt. That gives you a massive 10% boost to both attack speed and movement speed, and this is non-negotiable for sticking to targets and weaving in those all-important basic attacks. Now for the Green Arcana, we have an interesting build. We're running a mix of 2 times Compassion for the 2% cooldown reduction, 3 times Eagle Eye for the physical attack, and of course Pierce, and 5 times Void for that health, and also 3% cooldown reduction. This combination gives you a little bit of everything. Fatih loves cooldown reduction, to use your abilities more often. Take note, Fatih has no mana, so CDR is key to him. You got physical Pierce to shred through armor, and some extra max health for survivability. The perfect fit of 5% cooldown reduction synergizes so well with our item build. And so we go into that, the equipment. For your first item, that will be of the Boots of Tranquility. Your first boots for Fatih should be the CDR. But I suggest picking Meteor first to compensate for the less Pierce on your Arcana. Later on, you can trade these boots for a Boots of Depthness or Resistance. Now for your second item, that would be of the Axe of Torment. This item is core on Fatih. It gives you health, cooldown reduction, and a passive that shreds enemy armor with every hit, making your sustained damage absolutely terrifying. This also gives you 10% cooldown reduction, already totaling to a very early 30% CDR just with the first core item. Then we have Pure Sky. This is your defensive lifeline. The active ability reduces incoming damages, which is perfect for when you dive into the backline and get focus. The innate stats from this item are also a fantastic fit for Fatih. At this point, just with Tranquility, Torment, Pure Sky, and your Arcana, you now have a perfect 40% CDR by your second core item. Now for your fourth item, the third core item, that would be of Kiras of Savagery. You invest more on the defensive side of things. Kiras of Savagery is a great item that provides a good amount of physical attack and a passive that increases your damage output the longer you stay in a fight. The movement speed also syncs so well with your ultimate. Then you have the Starbreaker. Now if you need to deal with tanks, this is definitely your answer. The percentage-based armor penetration ensures that you can melt even the toughest frontliners. Remember that this item also provides 10% CDR, so this is the point where you have to trade your Boots of Tranquility to something like Deafness or Resistance, else you run the risk of having wasted CDR. For the last item, my recommendation would be of the Siegebreaker. This is the ultimate tool for finishing off low health targets. The extra damage against enemies below 50% health, secures kills, and makes your burst combo even deadlier. You can also swap this slot for a Sage Sanctuary or even Destiny, but why choose that over a Siegebreaker? Go grab your kills. Alright, you've got the skills, you got the gear. Now, how do you put it all together in the Hero's Gorge? For the playstyle, Fatih is a high-tempo all-in fighter. Your goal is to find isolated targets or opportune moments in team fights to dive in and unleash your full combo. You need to be constantly auto-attacking between ability casts to maximize your passive stacks and cooldown reductions. So for some basic combo, you can engage with your skill 1, maybe 1 or 2 dashes to get in range, immediately use a basic attack to start stacking your passive, then use your skill 2 to slow the target and get some healing. Then you can weave in another basic attack on that. Now use the third charge of your skill 1 to knock them up, interrupting them, and follow up with more basic attack to finish the job. But of course, during team fights, you could do an all-in team fight combo. First up, you need to identify your target, usually the squishy backliner. Activate your skill 3 as you go in. You can also bait in initial crowd controls against your enemy, as this cleanses all the initial CCs and makes you more tanky. Now immediately follow up with your empowered skill 2 for a slow on your target. Then dash in with your skill 1 and start weaving enhanced basic attacks. You don't even have to actually basic attack between skills because there's just lots of basic attacks whenever you have your ultimate on. Now use the mobility from skill 1 to stick to your targets as much as possible or even dodge crucial abilities. And do not stop attacking. Your damage output with your ultimate active is immense. And that, my friends, is our guide to mastering Fatih in Honor of Kings. We've broken down his abilities, kitted him out with the perfect build, and laid out the battle plans to dominate the Hero's Gorge. Remember, the key to Fatih is practice. I wish I could say do not do your practice in the rank queues, but yeah, it's a free world. Get used to the rhythm of weaving basic attacks between your skills, and you'll be climbing the ranks in no time. What are your thoughts on Fatih? Are there any other builds you've had success with? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you learned something or had a great time watching this video. Like if you like the video, subscribe to support the channel. Let me know in the comment sections what future videos you want to see on our channel. And I am Shidbu with the 1, 4, and 9. As always, lahat kayong gamers, mabuhay!